Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a team building guide for the LR BOUJACK EZA, because it is about to come out very soon on Global. So I want to do a team building guide because Entrusted Will, which is the weakness by the way, isn't really the craziest category. So some people might have some difficulties with this. So I do want to do a team building guide like I said, because just kind of a small category, not really that many units to it, but there definitely are some standout options. So yeah, before we get into the video, if you find yourself enjoying it at any point, feel free to like and subscribe. I do really appreciate the support you guys have been showing me. We're almost at 850 subscribers, which is crazy because we're getting to that 1,000 mark, and I'm just really appreciative of that, so thank you a lot for that. But I mean, yeah, let's just get right into it. So obviously the rewards are the BOUJACK EZA medals, you get some hidden potential orbs, and then you get the Kais, the Int Kais. So pretty good there, you definitely should do it, good rewards. And just starting off with the first unit, obviously, we have the AGL Trunks, who is the best lead, as you saw for Entrusted Will. And this guy's alright. I mean, he's really nothing too special. We did just do a showcase on him because he is featured on the Yamcha banner currently on Global. So, he'll be pretty good. I mean, he's the best lead, so you definitely should run him. But I don't really think he's going to be that useful because he's type neutral. His damage isn't really going to be all that crazy, especially because he is a TUR. And when you transform with him, he doesn't necessarily get much better. Arguably, he gets worse, so I don't even know if you're going to want to transform with him. But yeah, I mean, he's not really going to be the craziest option. You probably actually won't even get the transformation. You have to perform 6 or more attacks, which can take a bit. I mean, this guy does have a bunch of additionals built in, but with bad RNG, you won't get the additionals. And then, obviously, you know, it just kind of becomes difficult to transform with him. But, I don't know, kind of a wonky unit. He's aged a lot, you know, as we already kind of went over in the showcase if you watched that. So, I don't think he's going to be that great in terms of his damage. But defensively, he'll be able to pretty much tank anything BOUJACK throws at you. I mean, EZA events typically aren't that difficult. And also, he's the best lead. So I do definitely think it's worth running him as a lead. Because if you get lucky with crits and additionals, he can do some damage. And also, as I said, defensively, he'll be fine in here. So pretty solid option with the Trunks, but not really too much to talk about. Because he's not really the craziest unit anymore. You know, power creep just kind of hit him pretty hard. So moving on to the next option, though, we've got the AGL LR EZA Gohan. Now, this guy is going to be really good in this event because defensively, you know, he's crazy. He's got the guard. Obviously, he builds up to some really good attack and defense numbers, and then he does stack as well. So he's going to be really good in this event for his defense, but his damage is going to be pretty good as well because he does have the built-in additionals, and also his damage is just pretty good, right? I mean, it's AGL LR EZA Gohan. A lot of you do probably have him, so I do think that bringing him on the team will be pretty good. And you could also run like a sub-Kamehameha team, I guess, because, you know, you got UI Goku, you've got Namek Goku, you've got a lot of just units that are on Kamehameha. Pretty much every UI Goku actually is on this category, and I think every UI Goku has Kamehameha, so like the Int one here. Is the physical EZA one on here? He should be, right? Because, I mean, it's just UI Goku, right? No, actually, I don't see him on here, so maybe he's not, but most UI Gokus are on here, and a lot of other Kamehameha units. You know, you got a lot of Gohans here, to where you could run a sub-Kamehameha team. And of course, I mean, this guy's crazy. As I said, a lot of you probably have him. You already know how good he is with his EZA. You probably won't be able to get the transformation off with him. Let me see, is there any Android units in here? I don't think there is. So yeah, you probably won't be getting the transformation off with him, which you don't really get it off majority of the time you use him anyway. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but still a very useful unit, even without the transformation. But alright, moving on to our next choice, we have the physical Bardock. So this guy is an LR and does have type advantage, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage if you have him EZA'd. He's, I mean, a pretty solid unit still. I mean, he's definitely aged, right? His EZA has been out for, what, like 2 years at this point? So, you know, he's a pretty old EZA, but he's still pretty good. He can build up to an additional 59% attack, so once you have that, he's definitely going to be looking really good offensively. If you get this guy's 18 key, he can look really good offensively. You do have the extra 6 key because you're facing one enemy, so you are more likely to get that 18 key super. And just overall, a very good unit, especially in this event because he has type advantage. He's an LR. You know, he's going to be doing a ton of damage. And he's a really old LR, so I'm sure a lot of you have him. So definitely a good choice for a lot of people to bring on the team. And his link set is pretty solid as well. He's got Sand Warrior Race, Sand Lineage, Prepare for Battle, Shattering the Limit, Legendary Power, which are all pretty good links to get with like a lot of other Sand units on the category. So definitely, I mean, just a pretty good unit overall. I think bringing him will be pretty valuable, mainly because of his damage. But also, I mean, because he has type advantage, defensively, he's going to be absolutely fine as well. So definitely a good unit here. And then next up, we do have the physical EZA LR Trunks. Now, I know a lot of you probably have this guy because he's even older than the Bardock. But yeah, very good option here as well. Obviously, LR type advantage, so offensively he's going to be really good just with that. But then also he does have the extra 50% attack because he's facing an extreme class enemy. He also has the extra key, so just easier to get an 18 key super attack with him. He does have the crits as well, the high chance to perform a crit. So just with that, you're going to be doing a ton of damage. And I mean, defensively, once you start getting supers off with him, he's going to be fine because he gets that 6-turn 30% defensive buff. And same thing with the Bardock, he has some pretty good sand links. So just overall, a really good unit for this event. I think your main damage dealers is going to be this guy, and then the Bardock, just because they have type advantage. Obviously, they're an LR, and they're kind of more like offensive units. Like this Bardock, I think it's pretty safe to say is an offensive unit. This Trunks is as well, because of course the high chance to crit. So just overall, some really good offensive options, and because they have type advantage, they'll be fine defensively. So Trunks, definitely a very good unit to bring as well. And then moving on, we have the LR Trunks and Goten. So they're not really going to be the craziest because they're type neutral, but as I said, kind of a smaller category. So bringing someone like this probably is a good idea because they can still do some pretty solid damage, right? I mean, of course, they have all the super attack effects, you know, so if you get ideal RNG, you're greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn. And then also, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. And you should be doing a reasonable amount of damage because they do have this key mechanic, which is really good. Actually, this is probably the best key mechanic in the game, to where they just randomly get 5 to 10 key at start of turn. So getting an 18 key super off with them is going to be really easy. And then in slot 2, defensively, they'll be fine. They do also have the extra 50% attack buff if you get an 18 key, which isn't going to be difficult, like I said, because they have this really good key mechanic. And then also they have the medium chance of dodging. I don't really think you're going to have to worry about them defensively to where you're going to have to rely on dodge. But maybe if you like have to have them in slot 1, of course their defense is pretty bad before they super. So then you could rely on this. Maybe, you know, if you get supered, you dodge it, you avoided a lot of damage. So definitely a good option here. Their links aren't really the craziest. They're not going to link well with a lot of other units you're bringing. But they're on the category, they're an LR, so they'll definitely do a lot of damage. And then moving on to the next option, we have the Tech Bardock. So this guy came out pretty recently on Global, and you could actually run him as a sub-lead as well. I mean, Goku Family and Stored Figures is definitely a lot of units on here, so that would cover a pretty good team because, you know, you got a lot of Gohans on here, you got a lot of Gokus, and also a couple Stored Figures as well. He does have type disadvantage, and he is also tech, so this event really isn't in his favor, but he's still good enough to survive, I mean, you know, a lot of BOUJACK's attacks. Also, he's Rainbow Orb changing, and then he's got the Scouter, though, so I feel like he'll be very useful, maybe if you just want to throw him on the team, but running him as a lead might be kind of difficult because then you have to run 2 of him, and he's really not going to be doing that much damage. So I don't really think this is the greatest option, but if you have to bring him, you could make it work. He does have the guaranteed crit with 3 Rainbow Key Spheres, so if you're consistently getting that, also you're going to be effective against all types as well. So you could do some solid damage, but I don't really think it matters that much because it's a TUR. So even with like crits and, you know, super effective against all types, he's still not going to be doing the most damage. But, you know, the Scouter and the Rainbow Orb changing is useful. That benefits other units, so definitely there is that. And then last but not least, we have the Dokkan Fest Super Saiyan Goku that exchanges into Gohan. Same thing with the Bardock. You could run this as a sub-lead because he does also lead Goku Family. And as we said, a lot of Goku Family units on this category. And they're definitely still really good. Unfortunately, they've aged a bit, but like I said, they're still really good. They do have that dodge after they super. So, I mean, defensively, you don't have to worry about them because they'll be dodging most of the attacks. And also, they're just fine defensively because they get the 59% on super. They get the 30% here. Then they build up some attack and defense here. So, they're going to be fine. And also, you could get the active skill with them, or the exchange, to when you exchange into Gohan. And then at that point, this guy's really crazy. But I don't really think it's going to be that common because you have to do 3 supers. So, unless you're just really not doing that much damage to BOUJACK, then you probably won't see the exchange much. And I don't really think that's a big deal because even in the Super Saiyan Goku form, he's still really good. I mean, he's stacking attack as well, so the more supers you do, obviously the more damage you're going to do. So overall, a pretty good unit. That's pretty much the best options. I don't know, this category really isn't the craziest, like I said. I mean, there are some other units you could bring. You've got the in LR Gohan right here. He's a very old LR as well. And he could be pretty solid in the right situation if you pick up a lot of Key Spheres with him. And defensively, I mean, he should be fine. Like I said, this event really isn't that hard. So, you really shouldn't be taking that much damage, whoever you bring, unless you bring, like, some tech units. But other than that, you should be fine. So, bringing this guy is definitely a good option. I guess, you know, you could bring. You can bring this guy. He definitely will be fine because he has the guard. So even though he has type advantage, it doesn't really matter. He's not going to be doing any damage, but in terms of like just being a good tank on the team, he will work. And, you know, he's stacking as well. So defensively, he's just going to get better and better. And I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. There's a couple units. You know, you got the Ink Go tanks right here. You've got the STR Trunks. You got the STR EZA Ultimate Gohan. Oh, STR Namegoku. I want to talk about this guy because this guy's really good. Because, of course, I mean, you know, he's supporting units on his super attack. He can build up right here. And then if you're below 70% HP from the third turn, which isn't really the worst condition, you might actually get that in a couple of these of your EZA runs. Then you do get the transformation off with him. And then at this point, he's going to be really good offensively and defensively. And then, of course, he does have the guard as well, so just makes him better. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. A couple units I probably didn't talk about, but just a very small category, so you'll pretty much know who you're going to have to bring on your team just because, again, the category is very small. So, yeah, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know who you're bringing on your team for the EZA BOUJACK event. And, yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.